Marigolds. All right, themes. We're going to discuss the coming of age theme. When Elizabeth, the narrator of Marigolds, thinks back to the summer when she was 14, she recalls the devastating moment when she suddenly became more woman than child. She, her brother Joey, and their friends destroyed the beloved marigolds of their elderly neighbor, Miss Lottie. This marked the end of Elizabeth's childhood because her compassion for Miss Lottie in the aftermath was her first experience of seeing the world as complex, a defining trait of adulthood. While tormenting Miss Lottie seemed funny to the children she was with, Elizabeth felt conflicted in the moment that she was first decapitating some of the marigolds. The kid in her said it was all in good fun, but the woman in her cringed at the thought of hurting an old woman. This inner conflict indicates that Elizabeth is no longer a child who can enjoy juvenile behavior without any remorse or further reflection. Later that night, Elizabeth has to confront even more complexity when she overhears her parents in the other room. Her father bemoans the fact that he can't find any work and has to rely on his wife to support their family. He sobs loudly, and Elizabeth's mother comforts him as though he were a child. This is the first time Elizabeth has ever heard a man cry. She's bewildered that her strong father could be reduced to tears. Bewildered is confused or point of frustration, making her feel that her world is no longer as neat and ordered as she once thought. Losing her innocence makes Elizabeth feel rage, and she sneaks out of the house and runs to Miss Lottie's garden. While she and her friends had previously only decapitated a few marigolds, now Elizabeth tramples the whole patch, ruining every flower. Elizabeth looks up and sees Miss Lottie watching the destruction, and for the first time in her entire life, Elizabeth feels compassion. She's just destroyed the thing that Miss Lottie values most, and she feels ashamed. Remember that feeling of degradation. The story says this marks the end of Elizabeth's innocence, since children are innocent only as long as they accept things at face value. After Elizabeth destroys the marigolds, she is suddenly seeing a more complex truth. Miss Lottie is not a witch, but a broken old woman who dared to grow beautiful flowers. This marks Elizabeth's transition from childhood to adulthood.